Yeah, just a quick review of the book, Arthritis, Exercise, Diet, and Arthritis. The most important information you need to improve your health. So basically, the book I think is divided up into two major sections. I'll go over each briefly just to let you know what's in the book. First section is exercise is vital for arthritis patients. Here it kind of goes into the basic principles of exercising for arthritis. Goes into things like Tai Chi, yoga, water exercises, walking, cycling, that kind of stuff. Second section is the diet part, diet and arthritis. Has talks about things like, does elimination diet cure arthritis? Why is your weight important? Talks about a healthy, balanced diet. Do certain foods cause arthritis? And likewise, do certain foods help arthritis? And also talks about some vitamins and supplements. So yeah, as you can see, if you're looking for some information, about arthritis, I think this covers a lot of information that you can really get from the book. It's easy reading. So yeah, if you're looking for that kind of resource, I think it's a good choice. Now, one thing, if you do start exercising and you have trouble like with your shoulders, I also want to bring up this book here, the 6-Minute Torn Rotator Cuff Solution for Seniors. A lot of people that have arthritis are also going to have like rotator cuff problems. So this is a good book as you get older. A lot of people have trouble with their rotator cuff. Keeps them from exercising, which is a very good, important part of managing arthritis. Briefly, this book, if you have any kind of a rotator cuff tear, or if you even just have shoulder pain that's keeping you from exercising, strengthening your rotator cuff is going to really help fix a lot of shoulder problems. Basically, your shoulder is a shallow ball and socket joint, and it depends mainly on its stability through the muscles and mainly the rotator cuff. So that's its main job. So the stronger you make your rotator cuff, the more firmly that ball is held in the socket, less problems you're going to have, with like bursitis, tendonitis, even helps arthritis. You get a little more stability in your shoulder joint, and some people get acromioclavicular arthritis, and then if you can get more stability there, it's less stress on that joint. Anyway, briefly, book talks about, what the rotator cuff is. A lot of people don't know what it is. There's a lot of pictures in this book. If you're a real visual learner, this is good. Just some basic anatomy. Makes it kind of fun. It's not really boring reading at all. Answers you need to know. If you think you have a torn rotator cuff, what are the symptoms of a tear? Are there any special tests you can use to tell you if you have a rotator cuff tear? Might be indicating that. What imaging tests are used? Where's the rotator cuff tear at? Are there different kinds of rotator cuff tears? Here's a real good one. I have a rotator cuff tear and I'm in a lot of pain. I need surgery, right? Well, not necessarily. This book is real evidence-based. It just quotes studies to support its answers. So it really relies on the research to answer these questions. Basically, it cites a lot of research where you take a lot of people that have rotator cuff tears, you look at the size of the tear, and then you see how much pain they're in. And actually, it's very possible to have a rotator cuff tear and have no pain. Matter of fact, researchers have also found people with massive rotator cuff tears that have no pain. Likewise, they can find people with small tears that have a lot of pain. So since there's no correlation really between pain and the size of your rotator cuff tear, it's not really a given that just because you hurt a lot from your tear that you need surgery necessarily. What will happen if I just leave my rotator cuff tear alone? Well, the only way you can answer that question, if you look at the studies where you have groups of people with rotator cuff tears that leave them untreated for a period of time, like 5 or 10 years, and what happens to them. So this book has gone through all those studies. Do they get better? Does it repair itself? How does exercise compare to surgery when it comes to treating my torn rotator cuff? So if your rotator cuff tear, you're wondering, well, can I just do exercises and do as well, or do I absolutely have to have surgery? So the only way you can answer that question is by looking at the randomized controlled trials. That's really the kind of proof that you look at if you want to find out if something's really effective. It's the best study to use. Basically, you take like 100 people with rotator cuff tears, and 50 you randomly assign to surgery, the other 50 you randomly assign to exercise, and you see who does better over the long run. This book has gone through all those studies, and the results are really quite consistent. Basically, make a long story short, whether you have surgery or whether you do have a good exercise program, you end up at the same place over time. So something to consider. To that end, the book ends with an exercise program. Now, it has a beginning, intermediate, advanced program. So if you've just torn your rotator cuff and you can, hardly move your arm, excuse me, there's something There's a low-level exercises there. Or if you have maybe a small tear, chronic kind of nagging, you can do a little more exercise. Has like you can start with the intermediate or advanced. Good just for strengthening your rotator cuff, which will help you raise your arm up, by the way, too. So the program does take you 6 minutes or less a day. So here again, if you have arthritis, strengthening your rotator cuff will help. Also, if shoulder pain keeps you from exercising, then this is a good book to check out. If you want a lot of general information about arthritis, how to manage it, maybe come up with some things you never thought about, I think this is a good resource. So definitely check it out.